Good afternoon, Rudrashk, Vedant, Aman, and Sanuvar. Only four of you are there. So, uh, today we are going to start a new lesson which is called Evans Tries and O levels. So, if you have got your vistas with you, you can keep it with you. You can keep it open vistas where this lesson is given, and this is the last lesson of our syllabus, that is events tries and O level. Okay, so Sanubar, Vanshita, all of you, good afternoon. So today we are going to start a new lesson called events tries and O level. Okay, so we are going to begin the lesson, and let's find out what is this all about. To dear students, I would like to tell you about the story in short, like the introduction part only. The story starts with a telephonic conversation. Okay, the story starts with the telephonic conversation between the governor and the examination board secretary. The prison authorities want to conduct an O-level exam in German language for a prisoner named Evans. So, Evans is a prisoner. Okay, prisoner means a person who has been jailed for some offense. Okay, so we are talking about the prisoners. Okay, and his name is um, Evans. So see the title, Evans tries an O level. It means Evan is trying to write an O level examination. All like in our country there is class 10, class 12 board exams are there. Likewise the in Great Britain they have O level, A level. Okay, O level is equivalent to, you can say, class 10 exam here. Okay, so that is what is O level all about. So he wants to write O level German examination, German, okay, German language. So he wants to write O level German examination. Okay. So and he is a prisoner. Remember, Evans is a prisoner. He is the main character of the story of this particular drama, and he is the main character, and he's a prisoner. Okay, he is a prisoner. He has been imprisoned. Okay, and he is writing an O-level examination inside the jail. Okay, inside the jail. So let's see how it turns out to be. Okay, so dear students, dramatis personae means the characters you can see here. The secretary of the examination board is there. The governor of prison Oxford is there. James Evans is another character. He is a prisoner. Like he's the main actually. James Evans is the protagonist of the story. He is a prisoner, and Mr. Jackson is a prison officer. Mr. Stevens is also a prison officer, and then you can see here the Reverend means respected. The Reverend Saint McClary is an invigilator of Evans. Mr. Carter is detective superintendent, and Mr. Bell is detective chief inspector. So they are the characters of this drama. Okay, so you can see here, dear students, all precautions have been taken to see to it that the O-level German examination arranged in the prison for Evans does not provide him with any means of escape. Okay, uh, Evans does not provide him with any means of escape. It means here Evans, as Evans is a prisoner, he is a convict. Therefore, all the precautions have been taken so that he cannot escape. He cannot escape the jail. Okay, escape from the jail. Okay, so all the precautions have already been put in place so that he cannot escape. Okay, now let's begin. It was in early March when the secretary of the examination board received the call from Oxford prison. Okay, so secretary of the examination got a call from the Oxford prison. The governor of Oxford prison is trying to make an make a telephonic contact with the secretary of the examination board. Okay, and this is the conversation. It's a slightly unusual request, Governor, but I don't see why we should not try to help. It is the response of the secretary from the board. He's saying it's a slightly unusual request. Normally, there is hardly any request of this kind so far. So it's a sort of an unusual request from your end to allow a prisoner to write examination inside the prison. This is something what does not happen on a regular basis. That is why the secretary is making such a statement to the governor of the prison. But I don't see, but secretary is in favor of giving approval, permission. That is why he says, I don't see why we should not try to help. Why we should not help? Just the one fellow, you say? You said that's the one fellow only. Then that's it. Governor said that's it. Chap called Evans. Chap means it's a spoken word for a boy. A chap called Evans. His name is Evans. Okay, Evans wants to write O-level examination. Okay, started night classes in O-level German last September. He has started night classes last September. Says his dad keen to get some sort of academic qualification. So this is the information of Evans, the prisoner, which is being said by the governor to the examination secretary, governor to the secretary. So is he any good? Like secretary is taking information about Evans, saying is he any good? He was the only one in the class. Governor replies, he was the only one in the class. So you can say he's had individual tuition all the time. Really, would have cost him a packet if he had been outside. Okay, if he had taken the same course from outside, it would have cost him much more. Okay, so uh, I think he is good, and he has learned quite a bit. Okay, because he's got individual attention inside the prison. He's the only one, so he got individual attention. Therefore, I think he's well prepared. Well, let's give him a chance, shall we? That's jolly kind of you. Okay, governor says that's jolly kind of you. What exactly is the procedure now? So what is the procedure now? Because this particular practice of writing examination inside a prison is something what is not very common in those days. Therefore, it is for the first time that governor is approving, requesting the secretary of the board about a fellow called Evans, okay, James Evans. Therefore, he doesn't know the procedure. So he's asking the secretary about the procedure. What is the procedure? How should we go ahead with this particular process? Then he says, oh, don't worry about that. I'll be sending you all the forms and stuff. What's his name, you say? Evans? James Roderick Evans. His full name is James Roderick Evans. Okay, what is his full name? His full name is James Roderick Evans. It sounded rather grand. Just one thing, Governor. He's not a violent sort of fellow, is he? I think he's not a violent sort of a fellow. Hmm, he's not a violent, he's just inquiring secretary. He's not a very aggressive boy, I suppose. I don't want to know his criminal record or anything like that, but just I want to know whether he is violent or polite. No, there is no record of violence. Okay, governor says there is no record of his violence. Quite a pleasant sort of chap, they tell me. Bit of a card, really. Okay, one of the stars at the Christmas concert, imitations, you know, imitation, imitations, you know, the sort of thing. Mike Yarnwood stuff. Means he said that bit of smart fellow, okay, like Mike Yardrow, the celebrity. No, he's just a congenital kleptomaniac. Only problem he's having is he's just a congenital kleptomaniac. Congenital kleptomaniac means kleptomaniac means one who has a tendency to steal. Okay, he is called kleptomaniac, and congenital means by birth. Okay, means congenital means since childhood, since the beginning, he has been in the process of stealing something or the other. Other than this, he is not arrogant and he is not violent also. The governor was tempted to add something else, but he thought better of it. he would look after that particular side of things himself. Presumably, said the secretary, you can arrange a room where no problem. He is in a cell on his own. If you have no objections, he can sit the exam in there only, in his room only. That's fine. Secretary said this, that's fine. And we could easily get one of the persons. Persons means priest. Okay. Person means here priest. A churchman is called person. Okay, from Saint Mary Mags. Saint Mary Mags, dear students, refers to a church in England. Saint Mary Mags refers to a church in England. Okay, so Saint Mary Mags Mary Mags means a church in England. So governor is giving information to the secretary of the board, saying that we can easily manage one of the priests from Saint Mary Church to invigilate for the prisoner. Okay, if that is okay for you. Secretary says yes, fine, yes. They seem to have a lot of persons there. They means here Saint Mary Church seems to have a lot of priests there, don't they? The two men chuckled good naturedly, and the secretary had a final thought. At least there is one thing, you shouldn't have much trouble keeping him incommunicado, should you? Incommunicado means not able to or allowed to communicate with other people. You should not have much trouble keeping him incommunicated, should you? Incommunicated means not able to allow. Um, allow to communicate with other people, not able to or not allowed to communicate with other people. So secretary is saying that as church is nearby, you shouldn't have much trouble keeping him in communicator, should you? Hmm. Mm, no, sorry. He said that you shouldn't have much trouble keeping him in communicator, means you make sure that he does not communicate with many people. Okay. Should you? The governor chuckled politely once more, reiterated his thanks, and slowly cradled the phone. So he left the, dropped the receiver. Okay. And the conversation is over. Now let's find out. Evans the break, as the prison officers called him. Hmm. Okay. Evans the break, as the prison officers called him. Prison officers used to call him as Evans the break because he has broken from the prison many times. Thrice he would escaped from prison, and but for the recent wave of unrest in the maximum security establishments up north, he would not now be gracing the governor's premises in Oxford, and the governor was going to make absolutely certain that he would not be disgracing them. Okay, so now there is tight security, therefore Evans cannot break this time from the prison. And governor was making sure that that he would not be disgracing them. Okay, he would not bring bad name to the prison by escaping. Not that Evans was a real burden, just a persistent nagging presence. Okay, he would be all right at in Oxford prison, though the governor would see to that, would see to it personally. And besides, there was just a possibility that Evans was genuinely interested in O-level German, just a slight possibility, just a very slight possibility. Okay. At 8:30 p.m. on Monday, 7th June, Evans's German teacher shook him by the hand in the heavily guarded recreational block just across from D Wing. Okay, from the D Wing recreational block, there was tight security, and Evans was allowed to sit for examination there. Gitten Gluck, Herr Evans. Gitten Gluck means it's a German language for good luck. Okay, pardon, I said good luck for tomorrow. Oh, thanks. Take sign. Means here German language for thank you. Okay. Oh, thanks. Thank you very much. You haven't a cat in hell's chance of getting through, of course, but hmm, okay, a cat in hell's chance means to be completely unable to achieve something. Okay, so you haven't a cat in hell's chance of getting through, of course, but I must surprise everybody, said Evans. Okay, so here there is a conversation going on. So here Ivan said, When he said, I don't think you can pass or get through the exam, then he said, I can surprise everybody. Okay, I can surprise everybody. At 8:30 in the following morning, Evans had a visitor. Two visitors, in fact. He tucked his grubby string vest into his equally grubby trousers. Grubby means dirty. And stood up from his bunk. Bunk means, dear students, a narrow bed attached to the wall, okay, for the prisoner, okay, a narrow bed for the prisoner. So, which is attached to the wall. So, he stood up from his bunk, smiling cheerfully. Morning, Mr. Jackson. This is indeed an honor. So Mr. Jackson is in conversation with Stephen now. Jackson was the senior prison officer on D wing, and he and Evans had already become warm enemies. Okay, they had some differences of opinion earlier. At Jackson's side stood Officer Stevens. Okay, so Jackson is also protected by Stevens, a burly, surly looking. Burly, surly means here large, strong, but bad tempered. Okay, Burly means large, and surly means here bad tempered. Large, bad tempered looking man, only recently recruited to the profession. Jackson nodded curtly. Jackson nodded curtly. And how is our little Einstein this morning then? Okay, little Einstein here refers to the prisoner, that is Evans. Wasn't he a mathematician, Mr. Jackson? I think he was a Jew, Mr. Jackson. Evans' face was unshaven, and he wore a filthy means dirty. He wore a dirty looking red and white bubble hat upon his head. Give me a chance, Mr. Jackson. I was just going to shave when you burst in. When you entered, I was just about to go for shaving. Okay, so I shall not look shabby. Okay, after I finish my shaving and all. Which reminds me, Jackson turned his eyes on Stevens. Make sure you take his razor out. Okay, so Jackson is reminding Stevens. Okay, make sure you take his razor out of the cell when he's finished scraping that ugly mug. Mug means face. Ugly mug of his. Okay, ugly mug of his. Clear. One of these days he will do us all a favor and cut his bloody throat. Hmm. One of these days he will do us all a favor and cut his bloody throat, because he cannot be reliable. Okay, he cannot be reliable. For a few seconds, Evans looked thoughtfully at the man standing ramrod straight. Ramrod means strict supervisor, you can say, strictly, standing strictly straight in front of him. A string of Second World War medals proudly paraded over his left breast pocket. Mr. Jackson, was it you who took my mail scissors away? So Mr. Jackson, okay, Mr. Jackson got some medals during the Second World War, it seems. So it was there in his chest pocket. Okay, so here you can see Evans gave a thoughtful look at his strict supervisor, who had medals from the Second World War lined up on the left side of his blazer on the breast pocket. Mr. Jackson, was it you who took my nail scissors away? Evans had always worried about his hands. And your nail file also I've taken, not only your nail scissor, okay, but also your nail file. Look, for a moment, Evans's eyes smoldered dangerously, but Jackson was ready for him. Orders of the governor. Evans, he leaned forward and leered, his voice dropping to a harsh, contemptuous whisper. You want to complain against me? Evans shrugged his shoulders lightly. The crisis was over. You've got half an hour to smarten yourself up. Do quickly. You've got to deposit all your scissors and all that, and because you have only a half an hour left, and you to smarten yourself up and deposit all your stuff to me, Evans, and take that bloody hat off. Take off that hat from your head. Me hat? Huh. Evans put his right hand lovingly on top of the filthy woolen and smiled sadly. Do you know, Mr. Jackson is the only thing that's ever brought me any sort of luck in life. kind of lucky charm, if you know what I mean. And today I thought, well, with me, exam and all that. So, Stephen, when Mr. Jackson tells Stevens to remove the hat from his head, he said, sorry, Mr. Jackson, this is something which has brought me a lot of luck previously. So it's a sort of a lucky charm for me. And you know, I'm writing the test today, therefore, in the exam, it is very much important. So I'm sorry. Let it be with me on my head. Buried somewhere in Jackson was a tiny code of compassion. Evans knew it. Okay? Jackson apparently seemed to be very strict, but somewhere he had some compassion in his heart, some kindness in his heart, which Evans is trying to exploit now, okay, with his statement. So it is a lapse on the part of the prison authorities. Okay, they should not have heard about what Evans is requesting them. Okay, now let's find out here. Just this one, then Shirley Temple. Shirley Temple, dear students, Shirley Temple was an actress who had a long wavy hair. Jackson hated Evans's long and wavy hair. He then asked him to shave. Okay, so just this once, then Shirley Temple. He refers to him as Shirley Temple. As I told you, Shirley Temple was an actress who had long wavy hair, and Evans also had long wavy hair, which nobody liked. Then he said, okay, we can't do much about your hair, so you just shave quickly first before the exam starts and get shaving. At 8:45 the same morning, the Reverend Stuart McLeary left his bachelor flat in Broad Street and stepped out briskly towards Carfax. The weatherman reported temperatures considerably below the normal for early June, and a long black overcoat and a shallow crowned clerical hat provided welcome protection from the steady drizzle which had set in half an hour earlier and which now spattered the thick lenses of his spectacles. Here, dear students, um, Stuart McLeary is a new character in the play. So he is the invigilator for Evans. Okay, he is supposed to be a priest from the nearby church. Okay, so 8:45 he has left his residence. Okay, left his residence for the prison to invigilate Evans for the German exam that he is writing. The weatherman reported temperature. Okay, and then it started when he left his quarters, and when he left his bachelor's flat, it started raining, and then it had splattered the spectacles, his spectacles also. Okay, it started drizzling actually. In his right hand, he was carrying a small brown suitcase which contained all that he would need for his morning duties, including a sealed question paper envelope, a yellow invigilation form, a special authentication card from the examinations board, a paper knife, a Bible, and a current copy of the Church Times. Okay, these are the things which he was carrying along with him in a attache or in a suitcase. Okay, he was carrying all these documents, sealed question paper for Evans. Then invigilation form is also required to be carried. So he's carrying these authentication card from the examination board, because he's the invigilator. There must be some identity of his authentication. So authentication card also he is carrying in his VIP or attache, or you can say suitcase. In his suitcase. The 2-hour examination was scheduled to start at 9:15 a.m. Evans was lathering his face vigorously when Stevens brought in two small square tables and set them opposite each other in the narrow space between the bunk on the one side and on the other a distempered stone wall. Next, Stevens brought in two hard chairs, the slightly less battered of which he placed in front of the table which stood nearer the cell door. Okay, Stevens has brought tables and chairs, okay, for him to sit and write the exam. Jackson put in a brief final appearance, behave yourself, laddie. Okay, means lad, behave yourself, small boy. Evans turned and nodded, and these Jackson pointed to the pin-ups. Off, this should be off. Evans turned and nodded again. I was going to take them down anyway. A minister, isn't he? A minister, isn't he? Minister, isn't he? Money means a minister means here he's referring to his imbricator here. That is McLary. Okay, Evans is asking about his imbricator to Jackson. Okay, the chap coming to sit in, I mean. And how did you know that? Jackson quietly. How? Yes, this is something which is very very curious. How is how is Evans supposed to know that a priest, a minister or a priest is going to come and sort of invigilate his exam? He is not supposed to know it, no? So how does he know it? This is, there is a flaw, it seems. Okay, the thing got leaked somehow, that Evans's examiner is going to be a priest from a nearby church whose name is Saint or McLady. Okay, well, I had to sign some forms, didn't I? So he said I had to sign some forms, so that's how I came to know about my invigilator. Evans drew the razor carefully down his left cheek, but he might be lying also. Okay, he might be lying also. That you'll towards the end of the story you'll come to know how did Evans know everything from before. Okay, that you'll come to know. I'll not tell you at this moment now, otherwise the suspense will go. Evans drew the razor carefully down his left cheek and left a neat swath in the white ladder. Can I ask you something, Mr. Jackson? Why did they have to bug me in this cell? Why did they have to keep me inside this cell? He nodded his head vaguely to a point above the door. Not a very neat job, considered Jackson. They are not. They don't honestly think I am going to try to. They are taking no chances, Evans. Okay, Evans, Jackson is saying they are not going to take any chance with you. That is why they have kept you inside this room. Okay, with two security person. Okay, with Jackson and Stevens. Okay, besides McLary, who is going to invigilate him, nobody in his senses would take any chance with you. Who is going to listen in? I'll tell you who is going to listen in, lady. It's the governor himself. See, he don't trust you a bloody inch. He doesn't trust you anymore. Okay, and nor do I. Okay, neither governor nor Stevens, none of them trust him. I'll be watching you like a hawk, Evans. So keep your nose clear. He walked towards the door. Evans nodded. He would already thought of that, and number two handkerchief was lying ready on the bunk, a neatly folded square of white linen. Just one more thing, Einstein. Yeah, what is that? What is hat? Good luck, old son. In the little lodge just inside the prison's main gates, the Reverend McLary signed his name neatly in the visitor's book and then walked side by side with the silent prison office across the exercise yard to D wing, where he was greeted by Jackson. Okay. Now, ultimately, the invigilator has started. Okay, has arrived in the prison cell. Okay, to invigilate for Evans. Okay, so dear students, let's stop here. We require minimum 3 days to complete this lesson. It's a very big lesson. Okay, very 3 to 4 days I think I require to finish this lesson. We shall read together. You don't read at home. Okay, and I think for few days Ravi sir is going to take at in my time. Therefore, I need to take at 1:20. It seems for few days only, not for many days. Hardly a week, I suppose. Hardly a week. Okay. So hopefully next class also I'm going to take at 1:20. I'll let you know or Ravi sir will let you know about this. Okay, so dear students, mm, let me wind up now. Okay, so how many of you are still there with me? Can you please say yes so that I understand you are still watching me? Can you please text me yes, just yes, so that I understand you are with me? Okay, so Rudraksh, thank you so much. Rudraksh is there. I think Nabya is there. They are also with you, I suppose. Rudraksh, Sakshi is also there. Aman, yes, thank you so much. What about Sonuvar and Vanshita? Sonuvar and Vanshita, are you there? Vedant is also there. Thank you so much, Vedant. Who else is there? Sanuvar and Vanshita not there, I suppose. So there are four students, four of you, okay, who are there with me. Okay, four of you. Uh, one, two, three, four of you. Okay, so dear students, please be present, because see, uh, English, computers, and PE are your cushion subjects. Okay, they can definitely bring your percentage high up. Okay, they can certainly take it higher up. So if you have a problem with physics or mathematics for 4 5 marks in the final examination, it so happens, it might happen also. So in that case, English can help you a lot in taking your percentage, in improving your overall percentage, I mean to say. Therefore, if not every day, at least 3 days in a week, you please study English, computers, and PE. I'm not talking about my subject alone. I'm talking about all these three subjects for your benefit only. Okay. So please be present in the live class. Okay. See, hardly half an hour I take. I don't take much longer class. Just half an hour you'll be with me, and that too 3 days in a week. And if you do not come, then see, your own performance will go down. Okay, because after 6 months time, I shall no longer be in touch with you, or might be I shall not tell you ki come and attend my live class. So hardly few months are left, so please be regular, and it's for your good, for your academic, good academic record that I am good academic record that I am suggesting you. Okay, if you score more than 90% in English, it's good for you, and it's the certificate will be there, the mark sheet will be there with you for the entire life. So you can feel proud of your percentage in English. Okay, so that is why you please be with me whenever I am live, because so far I have cancelled, I think, 3 to 4 classes just for you. I have written, I have given, I made the schedule, and then you didn't turn up, then again I had to cancel the class, so that doesn't look good. So please be with me, okay, whenever I am live. Okay, thank you so much. And if you have any lesson pending, you please write it from my website, and if you want notes for any lesson, you please let me know so that I can start preparing for the notes and pass it on to you. Okay, so and please stay in touch and study English at least 3 days a week. Okay, at least 3 days in a week. Okay, bye bye, take care.